Hi, welcome to The Way Out Tarot. This will be your timeless general reading. The intention I set, what I hope and pray for, are messages about what you need to know whenever you come across this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating. Please continue to do so and know that I appreciate you. As you watch, I encourage you to use your intuition and knowledge of your own experience to interpret the messages that come through. The paths you walk are not identical. However, your presence here means that you, everyone else watching, and I have a shared interest in gaining insight into what's happening now and how we can better understand ourselves and our experiences to affect change in our lives. Without further ado, Aries, I have prepared quite a few decks for you to help us do just that. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the overall energy for you, Aries, we have the Ace of Wands. You have the Midas touch around this time, Aries. I think that there is a lot that's happening with you and happening with creativity for you. Your ability to create it's at its peak right now. There's some really magical things that are happening. I think that you have a lot of starting power, and I think that when you get in this bag, there are a couple things that happen. I think that you get really clear about the things that you no longer want to participate in. You get really sure about the things that you don't want to do anymore, and you get really sure about the things that you do want to do. I think that your mind is made up. Your patience is wearing thin, and I think that you have this growing desire within you to focus on the things that you are passionate about. That's where you want your energy to go. I love when you guys are in this energetic space because there is no stopping you. Your horizons are so broad right now. There are no limits. There are no caps on what you can create. It's like you're limitless right now. Ace of Wands is what I would say is very It's a very appropriate way to depict Aries energy. There are angels in the outfield. You guys are supported. You're supported. You're hot right now. Speaking of creation and manifestation, so the question is, what do you want? What do you want to work on? I know that your mind is made up. I know that you're done. I know that you're not happy in one or several areas of your life. There's just something that I think that you guys you've seen enough. You've seen enough. I think that you've gotten bored. You've gotten bored. Something, somewhere, is not all it's cracked up to be. It hasn't panned out the way that you expected to, that you expected it to. And I feel like you're reflecting on it. It's like something is happening that's giving you pause. You've gotten a chance to slow down, to really think about how things are going. And I think that when you stop to really look, when you stop to smell the roses, I think you're finding that you could be happier. You could have better. You don't want to be sad anymore. You don't want to I just feel like there are things that you don't want to fight for anymore. All of the cards are coming out in reverse. It's like the truth is coming out. The facade is falling. The facade is falling. Alright, let's talk about what's here before we move on. So overall energy for you, Aries, we have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. And what does this mean? I think that around this time, your ability to create is heightened, whatever it is that you want. And I think that you're realizing just how much opportunity there is in the world. So if something is not working, you can leave it behind and know that you're going to be okay. You can know that you can be confident in the fact that you will land on your feet. And that's really, really comforting to know, because there is something that isn't working here. There is something that you're not happy about. There's something that used to bring you happiness. There's something that used to mean a lot to you, but it doesn't anymore, because it's not fulfilling a need that you have. That's what it is, isn't it? It's like it's lost its sparkle. You've lost interest in it. It doesn't do it for you anymore. This could be a job, this could be a person, but it's like what once held a lot of promise, something that you used to work really hard at, something that you used to feel really good about, you just don't anymore. That's it, you just don't anymore. And I think that to continue down this path, to continue doing whatever it is that you are doing, to keep working on it, would mean that you would have to continue to make sacrifices, would mean that you would have to continue to hold your tongue, would mean that you would have to fall in line. You would have to give in. You would have to do things that you are not proud of. And I just don't see you doing that. It's like you would have to be ignorant in a way that you're above. I think that you can see very clearly how people want to take advantage of you. I think that you can see very clearly who these people are, and I think that it is heartbreaking. It's that thing, you know, when you're not mad, you're disappointed. You're disappointed because this is coming from people who you once trusted. This is coming from people who you could have sworn cared about you. This is coming from people who you thought were your friends. And I think that some of these answers are coming to you in dreams. Some of these answers are, it could just be your instinct. But I don't think it's that. I think it's rooted in something very real. It's rooted in their actions. It's you can see it all around you. And I think that it's because it's so real that you have no choice but to act. You have no choice but to move on it. Many of you you're good at so many different things. You're very multifaceted. You are very versatile. You could be dealing with a Gemini, you could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Leo or an Aquarius. You're very much a jack of all trades. There's something so unique and so interesting about you that you are irreplaceable because of how good you are at so many different things. Many of you are beautiful, you are strong, you are physically strong as in physically fit. You're smart in the way that you can tackle any problem. You are quick on the uptake, you learn things very quickly. You're multi-talented. It's like you could succeed in a lot of different things, and some of you might feel lost at times or have difficulties making up your mind because there are a lot of things that could bring you happiness because there are a lot of things that you're good at. This is a good problem to have, but I just think that you need to have confidence. And that seems kind of like a silly thing to say to an Aries because confidence is something that you're born with, right? Having healthy self-esteem is not something that's a problem for you. So that's not what I'm saying. I just think that you should, you need to have the kind of confidence that to walk off a cliff or two and know that you are going to fly and know that you're going to succeed. You really need to believe in that because I think that there's something that you want to get out of. Many of you could be having very powerful dreams around this time. There are answers that are coming to you by way of your dreams. But also, I think that you're surrounded by, you're protected in this way, because I do think that there are a lot of people that are trying to get one over on you. There are a lot of people that are trying to, it's like they want you to fulfill some kind of fantasy that they have. There's something so special that you add to the equation, that you add to the mix, that they can't find everywhere. You would be very hard to replace. You are the main character. I think that, and let's just talk about that concept for a second. You know that popular girl in school who everyone knows, even if they don't know that person personally? They just can't help but have something to say about them. They can't help but take an interest in them. And even though they're taking an interest in them, and even though they are the topic of conversation, they are also at the same time hated or hated on. So there are people, Aries, yes, that need you, but they hate the fact that they need you. And they will never give you your flowers, and they will never tell you to your face just how much they need you. But they don't want you to stop being there. They don't want you to stop doing what you're doing. They don't want you to stop giving what you're giving to them. And I think that when people go without your energy, they realize just how much you contribute. They realize just how much you do. So where do we go from here? Well, I think that you're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. I think you're going to do what you want to do. And I think that they know that about you. So I think a lot of people are realizing, like, I'm getting, like, they're very frantic. They're trying to control you. They're trying to box you in. They're trying to cage you in. It's like they're trying to harness you. But it's like they're trying to harness something that is spiritual. They're trying to harness a concept. They're trying to harness a vibe. But it's not so easily recreated. It's not so easily copied. It's not so easily cloned. I think that there are people that are studying you. There are people that are trying to understand you. There are people that don't want you to leave them. There are people that don't want you to do what you think is right, that don't want you to do what feels good to you because it doesn't serve them. And that's pretty fucked up. So let's go in with the what would you do cards. These are hypotheticals. I'm just gonna see if we can get some more insight here. I'm being told to get one more. So I'm gonna get one more. I haven't looked at that one yet, so let's look at both. So we got two reflection cards. The first, what are you saying no to in your life right now? So, yeah, There is something that you're just flat out saying no to and moving on from. This is what we've been talking about. You are pretty much done. And I think that you are very clear about that. I think your mind is made up, and for many of you, I think it's only a matter of time. You might be, something might be on the back burner, but it's definitely on the horizon. There's something here that's definitely happening. I think that you have seen enough, as we said, you know enough. You know how someone is, you know how the situation is going, you know what's not working. And I feel like you guys don't like to be put in a corner. And I think that the really sad part is nothing gets by you. But at the same time, there are people that are trying to get things by you. And they know that you're smarter than that, Aries. They know that you are an Aries. They know that you are the boss. They know that they know what you are capable of. Yet they still try. How can you remain true to yourself? Absolutely beautiful. This is such a great question to ask. And I think that you should really, you should do what you want to do. You should go where you want to go. You should be who you want to be. That's you remaining true to yourself. Everyone always sees you as this selfish person, but look at how they behave when you're in their lives. They try to claim you. They try to they don't want to be open about how valuable you are. But it's when you remove yourself, or you removing yourself is not something that they are willing to bear. They don't want to face that reality. But I think that it's coming. I think that there are some things that you're moving around in your life. You're coming up with a lot of creative solutions to things that haven't been working for some time. And yes, it is going to bring about an end to the drought. But it starts with you being honest about what you need. It starts with you being honest about what's not working, and it starts with you being honest, you being willing to set aside your pride. I think that many of you are having to do things that you are, you don't necessarily want to do, and one of those things is ask for help. I think it's because you know that if circumstances were different, you wouldn't need to. And I think you think that people are judging you for asking. I think that you might be thinking that people are going to look at you differently because you're saying some things that you normally keep close to the chest. There's a side of you that some of the people closest to you are seeing that you don't always allow them to see. It's a more vulnerable side. It's a more human side. Now, what do I mean by that? I think that you always project professionalism. I think that you always project a can-do attitude, you have this kind of domineering presence and energy. You have some pretty big balls. So I think that when you allow someone to see that you are I just feel like it's really shocking, like it's really jarring to people that you have needs too. Because they're so used to you providing for them. They're so used to you showing them the way that when you are vocal about the fact that you need certain things as well, they don't know how to act. You always get this, everyone always, they think that you're selfish, but what I don't think is often talked about is the fact that you are very generous people, is that you take care of and you provide for a lot of people. It takes a lot of strength to be a leader. It takes a lot out of you to be a leader, to show people the way. Because showing them the way is also a type of support. Because they just expect that from you. They don't see it as support. They see it as your job. Now, let's go in with some clarifiers. I want to take a look at Ace of Wands and the Page of Pentacles together. What are you working on here? What are you building? Ace of Wands and the Page of Pentacles clarified by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. If it seems like you've lost it all, or like you're throwing it all away, don't worry about that, because it's all being, you're working on building something in its place. The story of Job comes to mind. The book of Job comes to mind. Job lost everything. He lost his children. He lost his livestock. He lost everything, and God gave it back to him because his faith was that strong. Because he never stopped believing in his own salvation, because he never stopped believing in Christ. He never stopped believing that God would provide for him. Many of you might be feeling as though you're being tested. I'm getting trials by fire. It might seem that all that you have built has been for nothing, because here you are at what might seem like the pinnacle. Here you are at what might seem like the top of a mountain, and you're looking at all of your achievements and you're realizing that it's fragile. It's fragile because even though it might be built on stable ground, even though the foundations may be strong, how you feel about it is what makes it fragile. How you feel about it is what makes you vulnerable. So let's take a look at the Nine of Cups in reverse now. Actually, I don't think we're done with that Page of Pentacles. Let's talk about what you're moving on to. Let's talk about what you're manifesting here. Five of Cups. I think that there are some things that you need to let go, that you need to not be afraid of letting go. What are those things? Well, I think it's less about what they are exactly, as it's more so about the concepts of the Five of Cups and the Ten in the upright and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. What is this telling us? This is telling us that there are some things that you need to move on from, and you need to be okay with moving on from them. And you need to know that it is in your nature to create. It is in your nature to start projects. It is in your nature to start new things. It is in your nature to move on. And I think that once you remember that about yourself, that you will be successful again, that you can build it again. Ace of Wands coming out again. That's when you'll break through this wall. That's when you'll win, Chariot. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. And we got the Hermit coming out next here. Whenever you start this new thing, Aries, anything that you're starting new right now, it's important for you to know and remember that you are not starting from square one. You're not starting from zero. You have a wealth of information, especially recently. There are some things that you have learned recently, and these are skills that you can take directly to the bank. There are people that are going to pay you for your skills. There are people that you want to pay you for your skills. That's also what this is about. You're not trying to do work for free. That's not to say that you don't volunteer. That's not to say that you don't give money to those who are needy. That's not to say that you don't. Many of you, I feel like you carry the world on your shoulders. And it's because of that you're being given that in return. Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Let go of anything that doesn't feel good right now, anything that isn't working. It's okay to be honest about that. You really need to be honest about those things that aren't working. And that is going to be the very first step that you need to take towards fulfillment. You really have to be honest. Do not pretend like everything is okay. Do not pretend like everything is okay. Do what you need to do. Say what you need to say. You will thank yourself. If you need to spend a little bit less money, if you need to, not be so willing to be instantly gratified. If you're willing to postpone pleasure, even if that means that you stop smoking weed, whatever it is, or stop buying it, spend on the things that, there are better things to spend your money on, and that doesn't necessarily have to be your vice, but you get what I'm saying. Do what you need to do. Nine of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Do what you need to do and stop worrying about I feel like you guys really should not feel guilty about doing what's right for you. It is okay to be selfish sometimes. The world would have you believe that you're selfish 24/7. And if you buy into that, if you start believing that as well, you'll slowly but surely stop doing the things that you know are right for you. Because you're surrounded by people who you think are going to hate you for wanting certain things, or for feeling like you deserve certain things. Someone's name could be Sutton. I don't know, you might be watching a musical or two. I want to take a look at the Page of Wands next. That Page of Wands, I think it's reading like a person. 8 of Wands. This person has a lot to say to you. I'm getting Leo, Tower. They know that you are, they know that you're about to shake stuff up. I feel like they know that you want to leave. 9 of Wands and the Page of Wands coming out again. This is someone who is willing to fight for you. They don't want you to go. Could be Leo, could be Sag. Coming out next, we got the Moon card. And I was thinking about the Ace of Swords. So yeah, I'm getting that somebody wants to confess. I was thinking about the 8 of Swords when the Moon card fell out. They're scared. The Devil card in reverse. And the 4 of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who is scared that they won't be able to fix things with you. And I think that once trust has been damaged, it is irreparable. That's not always the case, but that's how it's reading now. Your mind is made up, you are sure. And I think they know this about you, that there is a line. I think that the tactics, the games that people may think are hidden, they're really not. There's something that you're not giving them, or there's something that you don't want to give a person or a group of people. Could be a Pisces. Now, there could be a Pisces that you're concerned about, or concerned about doing business with. And we got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, so it and the Sun. I would say the intentions might be good, but this is someone who they don't want you to tell them no. Or it's hard for them to take no for an answer. You might find it hard to say no to this person. Maybe it's because you can tell that they are trying to change. You might be hoping that they are willing to change. So, sexual tension, main character energy for sure. We got, let's just kiss and say goodbye. You want to leave. We know that. We've definitely been saying that this whole time. Number 3, December. Now remember, these cards are just to help you tell whether or not this reading is yours. We got July, could be a significant month for you. sell, let go or be dragged. It's a little blurry. Could be dealing with a Taurus. I heard hater when I pulled that card. June. And infatuation. Yes, at your best, you are loved. You are loved, Aries. All right, this was your read. For more content, the links to the Way Out podcast will be in the description box. Thank you guys so much for your likes, your comments, and subscribes again, and also for donating. Please continue. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.